together. Galvin pulling it across. Missed kick by Sansom. In goes Aldridge and Houghton. 1-0.
I can, yeah. We went through a fairly lengthy process. It was interesting times for myself. I'd just been released by Gordon Strachan at Coventry City. So I kind of came back to Ireland, and I knew, obviously I've been involved with the Irish setup in the European Championship. So I knew we were going to Malaysia, but I knew there was going to be a lot of players like your Robbie Keanes, Richard Dunns, fellas like that. Because the age changed, because it was under 20, some of these guys were eligible, so I thought it was going to be very difficult to get in the squad. But we went through a process where we went down to Limerick, played a couple of friendlies, and then one by one or two of the lads, actually Robbie, Richard Dunn, they actually pulled out one by one, whether it was injuries or maybe they were playing first team at the time in the UK, so maybe they thought, I'm not going over to Malaysia to a World Cup and, you know, for 2 weeks to be getting hammered and then coming home, whereas, you know, we were very hungry to get into the squad. So it worked out well for me, and after the Limerick trip, Brian, we spent a lot of time down in Limerick with Brian Kerr doing our training camps, and then, as I said, a lot of friendlies in Dublin. When the final squad was named, it was very exciting to be going somewhere like Malaysia, which was such a far-flung country for ourselves. So we had to obviously get all our jabs and all that stuff. So yeah, it was really exciting to get into the final squad. I think, you know, once you get to know Brian Kerr and his first chat with us, he wanted us from day one, believing that we were going out there and we were there for the long haul to get as far as we could and ultimately to the knockout stages. Now, as a group of players, you know, as much as you wanted to believe us, I know a lot of the lads actually had holidays booked, and there might have been one or two lads even getting married. There was stuff booked already, so they weren't too convinced that we were going to be there longer than the group stages, which would have been 2 weeks. So I suppose going out there, I think we just wanted to give a good account for ourselves. I think we were very nervous about the heat we were going to be experiencing. We knew the intensity of that. So I suppose we just wanted to go out and do as well as we could in the group stages. And if we were to get out of the group, it would have been a huge achievement. So to go through all the rounds after that, each week was kind of a bonus to stay there, you know. I was with Alan Kirby. Yeah, Alan would have been a Waterford lad. Obviously played with Aston Villa. He was at Aston Villa at the time, and I was at Coventry. So we would have played each other in Midlands League. So we knew each other very well, and we'd been involved in the Irish setup all the way through. So to be honest, Alan was my roommate probably for the 6 weeks we were out there. But we did so much time in each other's rooms, playing cards and playing games and video games and having the crack that you know, it was a really, really tight group. One of the tightest groups ever with, I suppose, because we were together for 6 weeks. But, you know, Alan was the roommate, but we were a really good group. We got on well with each other, so we were in and out of each other's rooms all the time, to be honest. Difficult to pick one, but I suppose, you know, because we've come so far and we've got to the semi-final and played Argentina, got beaten 1-0. I actually had a great chance with a header from a corner late on. Always still have nightmares about it. You know, it wasn't the worst header, but it just missed the top corner, and that could have put us in a final of a World Cup, which was unreal. But then the fact that we then had one more game to play, and it was the third and fourth place, and we got to play Ghana again, who we'd played early on in the group stages. I think to come out of that with the bronze medal and to bring it home was probably the highlight. You know, the celebrations after that. I think had we gone into that game and got beaten and not played well after coming so far, and come away with nothing, but to be able to come home with the medal, you know, there's not many people. I think there was the squad of 20 lads. I think there's not many Irish players are ever going to come back from a World Cup in soccer with a medal. So really good to get that bronze medal. I actually have it here because I knew I was jumping on with you today, and it's never too far for me. So I have the medal here, Malaysia '97. It's always nice to keep. It's obviously my pride and joy. Why I have it in my car with me when I'm at work, and I don't know. But as I said, that's pride of place. So I need to obviously do something decent on my mantelpiece with it. But you know, great to have that. So I think that was probably the standout coming out with that win against Ghana. I would have seen Thomas Morgan and Trevor Malloy. Obviously, we had a career together in the League of Ireland, so I would have seen an awful lot of them. Brian Kerr brought us all back together, which was a really special event. Brought us back together for our 20-year reunion. Brian sorted all that out off his own back, and it was just a special time. I think he got a sponsor to sponsor the day in Dublin where we all got together, and every one of the squads flew in from wherever they were in the UK or wherever they were. So the whole squad together, geez, we had some day celebrating and reminiscing and telling stories, and obviously a few sing-song and drinks that evening. But that was a real special time. And then since then we set up a WhatsApp group like everybody does nowadays. So every day or every second day there'll be a bit of banter on that. The lads will be reminiscing on things. So I'd like to think we'll all get back together again, because it was definitely, that tournament was the highlight of probably the majority of that squad. I know Duffer and that went on to have an unbelievable career, but for the rest of us, that was our highlight. So to get together after 20 years was very special. I think there was an awful lot of talk about Cambiasso in Argentina. He was playing at left back. I think he was the youngest player in the tournament, first of all, which is why his name, we all heard about this Argentinian left back. And when I say left back, he was very attacking as well, so he was on the ball an awful lot. But obviously he went on to have a glittering career and did a lot of stuff then in the Premier League as well. But I think Riquelme was playing with Argentina as well. You know, he was outstanding. But there was just so many talented players. I love looking back at I think all footballers keep a box of all their most treasured possessions. So I love looking back at the programme, the official programme from the World Cup. And remember the French squad and the English squad even. There was just littered with names. But the French one especially, they had Saha, Henry, Trezeguet, Silvestre. They had an unbelievable squad, and to always say that we went further than them was nice, but I think probably Riquelme was one who stood out, and Pablo Aimar as well, who had an amazing career with Argentina. So just to look back and say we played against guys like that, and we got beaten 1-0, which was disappointing as well. We could have got something out of the game. So some great, as I said, to say we played against them players.